Truth or trash, Julius Randle is plug and play and no longer a net negative trade asset. That's like 2 truth or trashes. So I would love to hear you just be really happy about Julius Randle so far.
I am just like, and there are a lot of other things to talk about with the Knicks who have only played 2 games as we're recording this. I'm going truth here. I've been very impressed. And the number I jotted down here on this was 40. What is the number here? I thought I had it memorized. 71.4% of his baskets are coming off assists. It's 2 games. I want to make that clear. It's 2 games. That is an astronomical increase off of last season at 46.5%. And then the season before when he won most improved player at 46.2%. And so there's always been like someone, when you look at some of the jumpers he takes, I think you could probably say, oh, I'm actually shocked that the number was that high, that almost half of his baskets were coming off assists. He is someone who can roll. He is someone who can pop. He is someone who can just stand still and, hit threes off the catch. And he's doing all that. And then he's making quicker decisions. He's still going to take some of his jumpers. And there are some lineups where you might even want him to take those looks, but he's just making quicker passes with the ball. Like where I should have tracked this, but like where he's making the second pass, where it's like he's getting the ball and then getting rid of it quickly. I have questions about the Knicks. I have many questions. I don't love the fit with him and Mitchell Robinson. But like, my God, like this is someone who I think is proving that he can exist within this larger ecosystem. I think that's one of the biggest questions we had for the Knicks leading into this year after the whole Donovan Mitchell thing subsided and you knew that it looked like Randle was going to be on this roster. And so that's one. The second truth of, I'm not calling him a trade asset. I'm saying, is he not a net negative asset? Do I think you need to give up a first round pick to get off Julius Randle at this moment? No, that's where I'm going to land at. By the trade deadline, if they're looking to move him to lean into development, maybe you don't even want to move him depending on how well you're playing with Jalen Brunson. And if RJ is coming on and Cam Reddish looks like this asset all of a sudden, and, having just an uber deep bench once again. God, I love that Isaiah Hartenstein signing. That was just so freaking genius. I'm not saying they need to move him, but like this feels like the year, or my prediction will be this is the year where we have, okay, this is the version of Julius Randle that not only should exist, but can sustain. And the 2020-2021 campaign, it always should have been viewed as an outlier. And I think it was, but you just bought into the idea that he's more of a self-starter who can anchor an offense than he actually is. Then last year, he kind of couldn't get out of that. And were the Knicks built to get him out of that? We don't know, with the way their point guard setup was and some of the injuries they dealt with. Now it feels like they're going to find, and he's going to find that happy medium. And if he can't, like if they revert back to too much Julius Randle at one point, or he seems to be playing outside, not even outside of the offense, but the offense needs to be dictated around how he is going to play or his stylistic leanings, it becomes a failure on so many levels because, hey, look, we're seeing it now. It can work like this. And so I'm giving a double dose of truth here.
So I think as I look at it, I think the two, he's plug and play, 1, and 2, he's not a net negative trade asset. They're linked basically, because the question that I can't sort of get past is what team out there is saying to itself, you know who we really need to get over the top is Julius Randle. Like that's a hard team to find, right? But it's only because if your answer to that is like there's no team, it's because you're assuming that the version of Julius Randle you're getting is the ball stopping, like mid-range jumper shooting. The offense has to run through him, and therefore there's a ceiling on it. That version, right? Which worked great 2 years ago, not so great last year, and sort of isn't around anymore this year. So if the quick decision version of Julius Randle that is getting shots created for him, which by the way, shout out Jalen Brunson, like say what you want about the money or should they have targeted him, but 15 assists and no turnovers.
The money thing is just so misplaced. But even if you didn't like the idea of what the Knicks are spinning, it's just he's the 15th highest paid, I think, point guard or guard in the league. Like, relax, that's fine.
He's paid like an average starting point guard. Right. I think it's fair to say he's better than that, but he doesn't really need to be for it to be a decent value. But Brunson is a factor there, and I think you might in charitably to Randle say that there just haven't been enough playmakers around him in the past, and so he's sort of. I think he prefers to play as a hub, but like he didn't really have a lot of choice in the past couple of years. I mean, he probably still shouldn't have been quite as integral to the offense as he was, but
I mean, last year he had choices. He just made the wrong ones.
He made the wrong choices. I guess I'm going to say truth, but only based on this version of Randle that has existed for 2 games. I still think there is going to be some reversion. It's not regression to the mean, it's like reversion to the mean, where he's just going to be more like the guy that is not a hot commodity for a team that's just trying to find a guy that's going to, fit.
True.